What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today I'm going to be talking about a couple of series in what I'm calling Otakus and Office Romance. So today I'm going to be kind of doing like a double combo review of sorts of Wotakoi Love is Hard for an Otaku anime season 1, as well as I'm a wolf, but my boss is a sheep manga volume 1. Now, you might wonder, Robert, why are you doing a double review? What's going on? How did we get here? Well, so the other day, or I guess like a week or so ago, whatever, I saw that the I'm a wolf, but my boss is a sheep manga was coming out, and I read the synopsis, and I was like, that sounds interesting. Which I'm gonna get to the synopsis of both, just in case anybody is new here. But I read the synopsis of it, and I was like, that sounds interesting. I'm probably gonna pick that up. Well, one of my friends, mutuals that I follow on Twitter, they had picked up. I'm trying to think. Was it somebody that had reviewed it? Anywho, somebody had picked it up. And posted, a picture of it, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm looking forward to checking that out. And they said that I'm a wolf, but my boss is a sheep is like a mixture of Sweat and Soap, which I enjoyed reading volume 1 of that, and I'm making my way through volume 2. And I have, I've done a review for that as well, if you want to go check that out. But somebody said it's a mixture of Sweat and Soap as well as Love is Hard for an Otaku. Now, the Love is Hard for an Otaku combination or comparison, they say mainly comes in because the main character of I'm a Wolf, whose name is Ogami, said that he looks like the main character of Wotakoi, which is Hirotaka, which if looking at the video or if you've seen images of both of them, yeah, especially because they both wear blue suits, they both have glasses, the hair. I definitely see the comparison. Well, so Wotakoi is a series that I've kind of like I've known about for a while, and I always think about every time I'm out manga shopping and I see the volumes or whatever, but I just never fully dove into. And so I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go ahead and watch this. It's only 11 episodes. So I checked it out, and I'm gonna get to that one in a second, but let me just kind of back things up a bit. So, for those who might not know, so I'm gonna start off with I'm a wolf, but my boss is a sheep. So the synopsis of this, or this series in general, let me pull up the information. It is the story and art is done by Shino Shimizu. The first volume just came out this week in February, and it's published by Seven Seas. And as far as Wotakoi, the manga for that, even though I watched the anime, but still the manga is written by Fujita, and that's published by Kodansha Comics. And the anime was, let me see, it was produced by A1 Pictures, and it's streaming on Amazon Prime. And it was only 11 episodes, came out in 2018, so a few years ago. And as far as the manga, I found out that the manga for Wotakoi actually ended last year, and the final volume in English is going to be coming out in a couple of months. So after watching this season, I'm going to end up picking up the manga. But starting off with I'm a sheep, but I'm a wolf, but my boss is a sheep. The synopsis for this is Ogami, a salaryman working for a betting company, has a pretty standard routine. He does his work, keeps himself, and hides his huge crush on his supervisor. Normally this does just fine for him, but when he's suddenly transferred to his secret crush's department, it's a blessing and a curse. His biggest problem? He's a wolf, while his boss and all his co-workers are sheep. This wolf boy is in for more than a case of simple puppy love. Now, this was such a fun read, and just kind of a little bit of like the sweat and soap comparison comes into, they're both working for a product company of sorts, but whereas sweat and soap, they work for like a fragrance and perfume and soaps company. And I'm a Wolf, they work for a bedding company, so they make, pillows and beds and different stuff like that. And so this volume or this series, it was just such a cute read just because of the awkward situations and that the main character Ogami finds himself in, with him being a wolf and everybody in his department being a sheep. Because, there's been problems in the past where, because of course it's like carnivores and herbivores, and like, even though they're kind of classified as people, they descended from those animals and stuff. And so they still have those different primal urges and sensations and stuff like that. So of course, sometimes, Ogami, can be a bit intimidating, not necessarily because he's trying to be, but just the nature of, him being a wolf. And so there's just so many just cute moments to where, he's wanting to get closer to his boss, and kind of like tell her how he feels, but he also doesn't want to come off as like being forceful and just kind of basically just trying to figure out the best way to like approach her and walk the line. And same thing with even the boss herself. Like she finds herself, interested in him. And one thing that I loved about reading this is that, throughout the volume, you meet other characters who are based off of other animals. Cause like, there was this one character, she is a black leopard, and she, Ogami, he used to work in her department before he transferred over to where he is now. And so once again, that department was a lot of like carnivores and stuff. So like I said, it's like the black leopard chick, their boss over there, he's a lion. One of the other coworkers, he's a cat. And so, they have a little bit more competitive nature versus I believe, what's her? I think her name was Shimizu, but his supervisor, the sheep supervisor, because there are times where she's having to lead a meeting, and they just kind of talk about how normally sheep are kind of more timid and docile by nature, but she stepped up and she's taken charge. She's head of this whole department. She leads a lot of very big and important meetings and projects and stuff. And so overall, it was just such a freaking cute and wholesome read that I am definitely very excited to see where it goes. It just sucks that I looked like volume 2 isn't coming out to like freaking November of this year. So that's a super long wait, but one that I will be there day one to pick up the next volume of this. So like I said, definitely if you enjoyed Sweat and Soap, then I definitely think this would be right up your alley as well. Cause like I said, just a little bit of like an office romance. They have a couple moments where they get like, really close to each other. But like I said, it's that awkwardness of, him being a wolf, her being a sheep. Now, the other thing with this is just, I don't know. Like I said, it's just so many cute little panels and stuff. Of course, a lot of the other sheep co-workers, they are messy because they openly talked about trying to get him fired because, in the past, they've had other predator type of or carnivore type of co-workers come into the department, but there's always an incident where they bite somebody or they attack somebody or whatever, and they end up getting fired. And so they legit was trying to set up our boy Ogami, because like one of the first things that happened in chapter 1 was he was in the elevator with all these sheep women, and so he is like trying his hardest to suppress his primal urges, and come to find out later on, they set him up by like, hey, let's all crowd on the elevator together with him and maybe get him to bite one of us, and then we can get him out of here. But he is actually he's actually a really cool and sweet and wholesome dude. And there's even a moment to where they're kind of all out drinking or whatever, and come across this other wolf guy who is coming off as a butthole a little bit, and then Ogami kind of steps in and defends his the sheep ladies and stuff. So, but yeah, overall, like I said, sweet, fun read. Go check it out. Now, Wotakoi. So for this series, so basically the basic premise of this series is that it follows a core cast of characters. Um, Narumi, for anybody that's looking at the cover image, Narumi, she's the girl with the pink hair. Uh, Hirotaka, he is the guy with the blue hair. Uh, Let me see. Hanako, she is the one with the green hair. And Kabakura, he's the one with the orange hair. And then later on, we get introduced to Naoya, who is the guy with the yellow hair, who is Hirotaka's younger brother. And then Ko, who she is the one with the purple hair, who also get introduced later on. But Wotakoi, like I said, it follows basically as the title implies, Love is Hard for an Otaku. All these people are otakus. They love anime, they love manga, they love video games, all this nerdy stuff. And so they are basically paired up in different pairs and relationships and stuff, but they're adults working, corporate jobs and stuff like this. And so the main four I talked about, they all work together. And so Narumi, she mainly, she likes otame games and anime and stuff. That's her primary thing. But Hirotaka, he's primarily a gamer, but he's into anime and manga and stuff too. Hanako, I loved her so freaking much. She is into manga primarily, BL, boys love manga, but she also loves to cosplay. She likes to do gender bend cosplay. And then Kabakura, he's into Yuri manga and stuff. So yeah. So like I said, that's the general premise of it. Is just these adults doing adult things, but also being nerds and stuff. And I cannot believe it took me so freaking long to try this series out, because this show spoke to my freaking heart just because of the fact that, I'm a nerd. Y'all know I freaking named my son after an anime character, Vash. My wife is a big nerd. Me, my wife, all my kids, we all play video games. We watch anime, all this different stuff. And so just even the moments of like Hanako and Kabakura, them waking up on early mornings on the weekends, having coffee and reading their manga. It reminds me of I have a very close friend from college named Bree. Every time I go down to visit and stay with her and her husband, that is our Sunday mornings. It's like when we get up Sunday morning, we have breakfast and we just sit there around the table reading manga and stuff together. And so, yeah, it was like I said, it was just such a sweet and wholesome show. I really enjoyed just seeing them just juggle and balance, having corporate lives and also like trying to, because when it kind of first began, Narumi and Hirotaka, they both start off as new employees at the same company, and we found out that they are childhood friends who grew up together since they were little. They grew up together, came over to each other's house, played video games and stuff all the time, and now they kind of reconnected through this job, and both of their bosses are actually dating. And so it's this thing to where Narumi kind of, she's trying to hide being an otaku. And so basically I'm trying to think, I think she had saw Hanako watching an anime or something or whatever on a lunch break or something. And basically, that's how they kind of first connected, and things just went from there. But I just enjoyed just seeing adults, but also enjoying their hobbies and stuff. Them going to anime conventions, them cosplaying, them teaming up and playing video games online together. And then I just loved how it just expanded from there to where we got Naoya, Hirotaka's younger brother, introduced later on, and I loved how the way he was introduced by Narumi running into him at the coffee shop and them talking, but then Kabakura is like, "Yo, who is this dude she's talking to?" And he's trying to stand up for his boy, uh, Hirotaka, but not knowing all along that no, she knows him because that's her friend's little brother type of situation. And then like towards the end of the season where we get introduced to Ko, to where Naoya finally finds somebody that he can connect with and stuff, but not knowing at the time that Ko is a girl. But she just dresses like a boy, just kind of like, just kind of staying low key, don't want to be bothered, likes for the most part staying to herself. But even just like in the few episodes that we got to see her in, just seeing her start to slowly come out of her shell, being around Naoya and stuff. But yes, like I said, this was such a delightful watch. Definitely one I highly recommend to, honestly, if you are here even watching this video and you've never watched Wotakoi, go watch it right now. Watch it or read it, whichever, but go check out that series because, like I said, I'm upset that I slept this long on this series. And just to think of like, it's in the freaking title, Otaku. Love is hard for an otaku. And I remember hearing over the years that it had something to do with, the characters being into games and nerdy stuff, whatever. But I think it wasn't until I actually watched it myself and actually start to see it and like the intro and everything. And speaking of the intro and outro and throughout the whole show in general, the music is just so nice and chill. This is definitely kind of like a peaceful and comforting anime. Um, and I figured it was like what better way to kind of wrap up the month of February and the month of love than kind of with both of these series, both Wotakoi as well as I'm a Wolf and my boss is a sheep. Because like I said, these were both just very sweet and wholesome reads, and I loved, like I said, just getting a chance to once again just getting more stories with adult characters doing adult things, having their day jobs, and then going home and playing video games, and hey, I got a week off of work, I'm just gonna finally catch them on some games. But one thing I will say about Wotakoi is that it just does really good about kind of like showing these characters and how they kind of bond and grow. Cause Narumi and Hirotaka, they've known each other since childhood. So sometimes I know it might be kind of difficult sometimes for people to kind of see somebody that you've grown up with, in different light or whatever, or that you might get so comfortable in certain ways to where you forget like, okay, maybe maybe we do need to make sure we're going out and not just always, going home and playing games and stuff, whatever. I got to make sure, hey, we're still going out and doing dates and stuff. And honestly, it honestly kind of struck me in the heart because it made me kind of think about like, what? Me and my wife hadn't gone, well, we did the other day, but before then it's like, man, we hadn't really gone out and done nothing in a while. And I feel like that just says something, like I said, to where I can relate so much with the show to where it actually makes me reflect on what I'm doing in my life and stuff. And it's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I do need to go and do more things with my wife and stuff, away from the kids, because we do family stuff all the time. But it's like, no, got to make sure, hey, make sure my baby's taken care of and we're having a alone adult time to ourselves and stuff, going out and exploring and doing fun stuff again. Cause like I said, that was just something like I said that Hirotaka really kind of started to kind of think about towards like the end of the season and stuff of like, okay, we do need to do more. But yeah, like I said, it was just so many things in the show that I could relate to. Because even the freaking expressions and the energy is just so amazing in the show. Because even when Narumi was gonna go and just surprise uh, Hirotaka with the surprise visit, at the end of their vacation week, and so she comes over and she finds him just like passed out on the floor, and then she looks up and she sees that the game is on. He passed out in the kitchen, which she was like, she put two and two together, like, oh, you haven't been eating and basically sleeping right or whatever. And I'm pretty sure all of us that have lived that life and maybe even still do sometimes or whatever are guilty of getting deep into a gaming session or an anime binge or a manga read through, and time is just passing and it's like, man, when did I eat? Wait, it's the sun is up already. So we've all done that. So make sure y'all taking care of yourselves while having y'all's fun. But yeah, like I said, go check out these series. They're both very awesome, very fun. I'm probably gonna end up going and buying up Wotakoi. I'll for sure try to make sure I buy all of them or try to start collecting them in the lead up to the final volume coming out in May. Because like I said, I would definitely love to read all of it and then do like a series review or discussion or something, either by myself or maybe even with somebody in the community. So, but let me know what y'all thought. If you've been already have watched or you've already been reading Wotakoi, let me know your thoughts on that series. And then if you've picked up a copy of I'm a Wolf but My Boss is a Sheep, let me know what you think of that as well. Did you enjoy it? Do you think me and the other person that mentioned it, if we're kind of on point with the Sweat and Soap comparisons and stuff? Or, just let me know what y'all think of these series. But y'all have an awesome day. If you're not already, make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed and following the podcast if you just want to get audio of everything that I do on all streaming services that you can get podcasts. And follow me everywhere at Dad Needs to Talk. Let's connect, let's conversate, and let's network. And so as always, make sure to treat yourself to something nice, read some manga, watch some anime, play some video games, and live your best life. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.